Webull rebounded today, finishing the Thursday session up 29 cents or 2.2%, closing at $13.60 per share. For traders and investors watching this stock closely, the big question now is whether this bounce signals that the shakeout is over, or whether we are simply seeing a temporary pop before more consolidation. In this update, I want to walk through what drove today's action, where the technicals stand, what the fundamentals are telling us, and why the week ahead could be pivotal for Webull. Let's start with the obvious. After sliding earlier in the week and flirting with key support around the low $13 range, Webull managed to attract enough buying interest to push the stock higher into the close. That move was not huge in percentage terms, but the fact that it came on the back of recent weakness makes it noteworthy. Often when a growth-oriented stock like Webull pulls back, traders watch to see if it can defend a base and bounce back with conviction. That is precisely what seems to have happened today, and it puts fresh eyes on whether Webull is ready to resume its upward momentum. Why is this rebound happening now? Several factors are at play. Fundamentally, the company is still riding the momentum of its strong second quarter numbers. Revenue growth of more than 40% year-over-year reaffirmed that Webull is gaining traction with users. Their expansion into cryptocurrency trading has added another dimension to the growth story, especially as retail engagement with digital assets has picked up again. And on top of that, Webull has been pushing into new international markets. The recent launch in the Netherlands marks their entry into the European Union, with plans for more rollouts to follow. That signals global ambition, and markets tend to reward companies that expand their addressable base. But at the same time, investors are aware of the risks. Webull is still operating at a net loss. Expenses tied to scaling, technology, and the costs of the SPAC combination have widened losses compared to last year. For some investors that is a red flag, while for others it is simply the cost of building out a fintech platform at scale. The market has been weighing these factors carefully, and that tension explains why Webull has seen both sharp rallies and quick pullbacks in recent weeks. Today's rebound likely reflects two intertwined forces. First, the buy-the-dip mentality. Traders watching Webull saw the stock approach 13.20 and even dip toward 13 earlier in the week. That zone had acted as support previously, and once again it appears to have attracted buyers. When a stock shows that kind of price memory, it encourages more traders to step in with confidence. Second, the broader risk appetite in the market was supportive. Growth names and fintechs in particular benefited from a softer macro backdrop, with rate cut hopes still alive and volatility slightly cooling. Together, those conditions gave Webull room to breathe. The technical picture deserves careful attention here. Webull's relative strength rating has been climbing steadily and now sits above 80. That means the stock is outperforming a significant share of the market. Momentum traders pay attention to that number because it indicates leadership potential. Even with today's bounce, Webull remains in the middle of an important range. Support sits in the 13.20 to 13.50 zone, with deeper support around 12.50 to 12.30. Resistance remains overhead at 13.80 to 14.00. Clearing that ceiling with volume would be the signal many are waiting for to declare the next leg higher underway. Until then, the setup remains constructive but unconfirmed. Another aspect to consider is how Webull is being perceived compared to peers. Robinhood has drawn plenty of attention this year with its own profitability milestones and crypto engagement. Fidelity and other established brokers continue to build app-based platforms to attract younger investors. Yet Webull's combination of commission-free trading, fractional shares, options, and now crypto, positions it as a hybrid competitor. Add to that the international expansion, and you get a story that resonates with growth-oriented investors looking beyond just the US retail base. So, what does today's rebound tell us? At a minimum, it shows that there is buying interest whenever Webull approaches its support zones. That suggests the stock is not being abandoned, but rather is being actively accumulated at lower levels. This kind of behavior often precedes a breakout if momentum builds. However, the burden of proof still lies ahead. Traders want to see Webull challenge and clear the $14 mark. If that happens, momentum screens will light up and the stock could quickly gain more attention from both retail and institutional participants. At the same time, it is important to highlight the risks. Webull's reliance on active trading volumes means that its revenue is sensitive to market cycles. If volumes decline, revenue growth can slow abruptly. Its crypto rollout is a growth driver, but it also ties the company to one of the most volatile asset classes in the world. If sentiment in crypto turns negative, Webull could feel it directly in user engagement and transaction revenue. Finally, the competition remains fierce. Robinhood, Fidelity, Schwab, and international brokers are all chasing the same digital-savvy customers. Sustaining user growth in that environment will require constant innovation and differentiation. For now, though, the story remains balanced but constructive. Webull has momentum, it has a growing platform, and it has clear technical levels that traders can anchor to. Today's rebound to 13.60 keeps the narrative alive and sets up the week ahead as potentially pivotal. If the stock holds above support and gathers volume, we could see a retest of resistance and perhaps even a breakout. If it falters and drifts back toward 13 or below, then it suggests more consolidation is needed before another sustained move higher. In terms of themes to watch in the coming week, the first is crypto trading metrics. Any indication of strong user adoption or high transaction volume in Webull's crypto products will be taken as confirmation that the expansion is working. The second is user growth more broadly. Webull's ability to onboard younger investors is one of its competitive advantages. If that trend continues, it provides a structural tailwind that outweighs short-term market volatility. And the third theme is macro sentiment. As long as investors expect rate cuts or at least a stable policy environment, fintech names like Webull can benefit. If inflation data or Fed commentary shifts that view, volatility could increase quickly. So where do we go from here? For bulls, the strategy is to view this pullback and rebound as a potential shakeout that resets the stock for another rally. For bears, the counterpoint is that until Webull clears $14, it remains vulnerable to more downside pressure. Both perspectives have merit, and that's why the price action in the week ahead is so important. What I would stress is that leaders in the market rarely move in a straight line. They surge, they consolidate, they shake out weak hands, and then they surge again. Webull's trajectory so far fits that pattern. Today's move to 13.60 might not seem dramatic, but it could represent the first step in that reset process. Traders should watch carefully how the stock behaves in the next few sessions. A push through 14 with conviction could be the green light for another leg higher. A fade back below 13 would signal the opposite. For long-term investors, the picture is still centered on whether Webull can turn its revenue growth into sustainable profitability. That story will play out over multiple quarters, not days. But for short-term traders, the setup is clear, and it is actionable. Support, resistance, and momentum metrics provide the roadmap. Today's rebound makes the chart look healthier heading into the weekend. So to wrap this up, Webull closed Thursday at 13.60, up 29 cents or 2.2%. The rebound came after recent weakness and highlights the ongoing tug-of-war between bullish momentum and cautious consolidation. Fundamentals remain constructive with crypto expansion and global growth. Technicals show relative strength above 80, and the price is holding near support. The week ahead will tell us whether this bounce is the beginning of another rally, or just a temporary pause before more downside. Either way, it is a stock worth watching closely, as the setup is becoming more strategic by the day. So what do you think? Is this rebound just a blip, or is Webull shaking off the pullback and preparing for another leg higher? Share your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit like if you found this analysis useful, and subscribe for more updates on Webull and other momentum stocks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.